Well, thank you for joining me. I'm going to look at a question that has to do with trigonometry. Let's see if I can get my pen. Okay. A ship travels north for 3 kilometers, question 5. Let's try this. A ship travels north for 3 kilometers. And then on a bearing of 130 degrees, okay, from this point here, 3 kilometers away, turns, this is 900, 090, so turns and faces this way, so it's 40 degrees more than 90, so that's a bearing of 130, so 90 degrees plus 40 degrees more than 90 is a bearing of 130 degrees. And it goes for 5 kilometers. So we head out that way for 5 kilometers. Now, if this is 40 degrees, that is 50 degrees. And we want to know how far east the ship is from its starting point. Well, they're its starting point. Now, east, if this is, finishes 5. East, I'll use blue. From this point that it turned, that's how far it goes east. Now, it's east of that point, it's east of that point, it's east of everything on that line, and it started here. So let's use this triangle up here. If that's 40, and that's 90, and that's 5, we want our x distance east. So I'm going to go from the 40 degrees, I'm going to use the adjacent side, and I'm going to use the hypotenuse. So cos of 40 degrees equals adjacent over hypotenuse, which equals x over 5. So 5 times, I can bring this 5 up here to be multiplied by cos 40, and we have our answer. 5 times cos 40 is how far east. Let's go to the calculator and find out what is 5 times cos 40. 5 times 40 cos, 5 times cos 40 is 3.83. So about 3.83 kilometers. Three point 8 kilometers. Now, on the calculator, I just want to get the number off the calculator here again. It was 3.830222. Okay. So x is equal to about 3.83022, whatever, and it continues, which to 2 decimal places, because the question wanted 2 decimal places, 3.83 kilometers. And in brackets, I'm going to say 2 decimal places. That's 5A. 5B, how far south the ship is from its starting point, correct, to 2 decimal places? Well, this is an interesting question, because we've traveled north 3 kilometers, then we've traveled like in the southeasterly, generally southeasterly, it's not exactly southeasterly. We want to know how far south, so let's find out how far south we are from when we turn. So that's up to that point there, how far south. Let's make that a better line. My computer's not responsive. All right. So this is how far south from when we turned. I'll just call that Y. Okay, so I'll use opposite and hypotenuse. I'll use sine, 40 degrees, equals opposite over hypotenuse. Now our opposite side is our Y value, our hypotenuse is 5. So 5 times sine of 40 will give us the Y value. Now it did say correct 2 decimal places. So let's find out what 5 sine of 40 is. 5 times 40 sine of 40, and that is 3.213938. Dot, dot, dot. Dot, dot means irrational number, which is approximately 3.21 kilometers. That's to 2 decimal places. That's not the answer to that question. The question wants how far south from our starting point. So now let's have a look. We travelled north for 3 kilometers. Then we travelled south for 3.21 kilometers. So we will end up below our starting point. We travelled south by an extra 2.1. So our answer was we are approximately 0.21 kilometers south of our starting point. Not below our starting point, but south, which means on a level south. So it's right over here. It's east and it's south, okay? It's east 3.83 and it's south by 0.21 kilometers. All right. So let's have a look at question 6. Done question 5, let's have a look at question 6. I'm going to go to a different whiteboard. So this one was question 5. Let's put in our question. I've already done question 5, so I'll move that up and look at question 6. 2 points A and B, positioned 15 centimeters apart. So I'm going to put a 15 along that line. That's like a hypotenuse. That's the direction of 100 degrees. So if that's the direction of 100 degrees, we've got a little 10 degrees in here, because east is 090, and if you go around another 10 degrees, you get to 100. A bearing of 100 is 10 degrees more than east. How far east point B is from point A? Now, how far east is that x direction from here to here? That's how far east, and I'll call that x. And that's like the adjacent side. And 15 is like on the hypotenuse. Let me draw that triangle a little bit bigger. Looks like this. along X how far south is. This is south is like Y, X is like east. There's point A, here's point B, and the distance from point A to point B is 15, and that's like a hypotenuse. So let's do X first. We found out at 10 degrees, because if that's 090, 10 degrees more will take you to 100 direction. All right. So we'll use that triangle cos. Cos of 10 degrees, cos of 10 degrees is equal to adjacent over hypotenuse equals x over 15. So 15 times cos of 10 is equal to x. Let's find out what that is on the calculator. 15 times 10 cos, you get 14.77211. 14 dot 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 ellipsis, and we want correct 2 decimal places, so let's do that correct 2 decimal places. X is approximately 14, and you can see that the answer to 2 decimal places is 14.77. This is on a map, so the answer is A is positioned 15 centimeters apart. That's very close. All right, centimeters, 2 decimal places. So we are 14.77 centimeters, and we tick that box once we do it to 2 decimal places. How far south? Correct to the nearest millimeter. So let's put a box there and tick it once we've done it to the nearest millimeter. And we want south, so we're going to use sine 10 degrees equals opposite over hypotenuse, which is equal to y over 15. So 15 times sine of 10 equals y. Go to the calculator. 15 times 10 sine, that is 2.6047. Let's write that down, 2.6047. Two, it's not writing it. 60. So let me just check that. .6047, that's right. And it's centimeters. And we want to the nearest millimeters. So I'm just going to change this to millimeters now. Multiplied by 10. 26.047. And that's millimeters. we want it to the nearest millimeter, which is 26, approximately 26 millimeters to 0 decimal places or to the nearest millimeter. And tick that box once we've done it. Okay. I hope this has helped.